I'm going straight off the dome. I already know it. I'm going off the headset mic too. Hopefully you can hear me. This is gonna be a rant. Many people will not watch this, but I just felt so like I need to do this right now. Let me adjust this. Um, I am drunk right now. Probably shouldn't say that, but I am. Um, I want to talk about bipolar real quick. Like such a taboo topic. Um, See, now my mind's so jumbled. I feel like just a second ago it was so like, you get what I mean? Um, I'm not technically diagnosed. I've been told for many. I'm diagnosed with a lot of things. I have PTSD, depression, anxiety, ADHD, autism, like so many things. But bipolar, at least to my knowledge, is something I am not diagnosed with. But I know I am, and it's funny because like self-diagnosis, or whatever it's called, is so looked down upon, and I agree with that, right? Many people want to be mentally ill in a weird way. I know I am this though, and I've been told this my whole entire life. And many doctors and psychiatrists and therapists have pre- I don't know if predicted is the right word, but like have assumed I am bipolar just with the way I speak, the way I handle myself, and I never really bring it up. I try to hide it, and not necessarily out of a like a oh I'm embarrassed about it. It's more of like a I don't think you need to see it. Um, what's interesting is the video I just made was about all the bad stuff that's happening in my life, and I'm going to talk about that for a second. My girlfriend or my ex-girlfriend that I just broke up with realized very quickly that I am very mentally ill. And first off, I want to say I don't think it's a bad thing. Like I say, I'm so mentally. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. Like there's definitely bad parts about it, but I don't think it's like some ultimate, oh my God, I need to shut down everything. Like, you get what I mean? I think in a weird way it's a gift, and I'll say that in a second, but um I, but some people know I have it, and I think I do too. And I'm working on getting diagnosed, but I will never take meds. This might be famous last words, you know what I mean? Because maybe people want once I'm God willing big and famous, and I'm doing all the cool things I want to do, and I'm starting the charity. People may rewatch this video and say, "Oh, this was the moment where he said he was never going to medicate, and now it's terrible." Um, See, people just came back, and I want to be quiet, but um, see, I probably sound like I'm crazy just talking to myself. This, like I said, it's gonna be a rant, but I hold on. Sorry, I was waiting for people to leave the kitchen. I was getting angry, which is weird. I don't usually get angry. Over the past couple of while, I've been getting angry. But anyways, I'm gonna try to make this short, but it might not be short. Hopefully, you guys can even hear me. The main reason why I wanted them to leave is because I don't want to be perceived as crazy. Because that's one thing I hate. I hate being called crazy. I hate being told I'm crazy. I've been told I'm crazy for so long, and see, I'm losing my train of thought. But you know what's so interesting? And I've really only told one person this. It was my ex-girlfriend. I said, well, see, this is the thing. I'm so used to saying, I think, damn, I'm breathing too heavy. I think, I always, I always told her, I think I'm a genius. But I'm tired of saying that because it's not that I think, I know I am. And that's not to say that, like, oh, I'm better than somebody else, or I'm smarter, or I'm more experienced. It's more just I think differently. In a world where everybody thinks the same, thinking differently is such like a genius move. And I don't think I'm alone. I think there's many other geniuses in the world. I think people look at being genius as such a rare thing. I think so many people are genius. But see, I'm jumping around, but and I guarantee everybody watching this video is gonna think I'm crazy too. The way I'm moving my hands, they gonna think I'm crazy. They think I'm just talking, I'm ranting. This is genuinely true, and I hope maybe someday in the future somebody watches this video and they realize what I'm actually saying. Um, well, here's another part. You know what has in the past has made me think that I'm not bipolar is how self-aware I am, and I don't even know if either of them have a correlation. But I'm painfully self-aware, and everybody says that. Everybody says, "Oh, I'm so self-aware of myself, and I understand. I watch everybody else's moves, and I'm aware of everybody else." You're not. At least, oh, I shouldn't say you're not, but I don't think people are as aware as they think they are. I am painfully self-aware, and one thing that I've seen in other people with bipolar is that they can't tell when they're in a bipolar mode. And this is why I said sometimes it makes me question if I even have bipolar, but I think I still do, but I'll get diagnosed here soon, hopefully. But when I'm in a bipolar fit, I realize I'm in it. And I almost always realize that I can't control it. And it's a scary feeling for a while because it's like there's multiple people in my brain at once. And one's watching another one destroy the room through a window. And they can't do anything. And it's like I know it's happening and I know it's actively happening right now, but I can't do anything about it. And it's interesting. I realize it all the time. And I tell myself during these periods, I said, you're gonna do something you will regret. And I always do. But I can never stop it. And I'll emphasize, I right now in my life, I never want to get medicated. And I'll explain it in a second, but well, I guess I'll explain that right now. Like I said, I think I'm a genius. Not even just in the way in the way I move. See, now they're out again. Hold on. See, I don't know where this anger comes from. I hate getting interrupted. I'm usually not as angry, but right now I'm in such like a let me just fucking speak. And I keep getting interrupted. I feel like, they're not interrupting me. I need to cool it down. I'm usually not an angry person. And I don't lash out. I've never been known to lash out. It's just I keep this anger in me. But, anyways, I was saying I feel like a genius because of the way I move. I like to think I'm a very intelligent person. Many people would disagree, but I think I'm a very intelligent person. No, I shouldn't say many people would disagree. I think many people would agree, but I think there's some that would disagree maybe because they don't understand. But I, one thing that people with bipolar always say is like, oh, it's I'm happy one day and I'm sad one day, or I'm motivated one day and I'm not motivated one day, and I agree with that. I'm very similar to that. Well, I'm not just similar. I am that. But it's not even just that. That's not the reason why I think I'm bipolar. I think it's so much. It's more of the creative side. Like I want to create, and many people think bipolar is such a you create and you destroy. For me, it's always been just create. Or when I do want to destroy, it's in very isolated areas that doesn't affect what I do. And sure, I will say over the past couple of years, my bipolar quote unquote or the feelings I have towards bipolar have grown and I've become more drastic. So, maybe someday I'll become worse. I probably will. Um, I'm 19 right now. I'm about to turn 20 in May. It's March 30th as I'm recording this. Um, but I see I'm jumping all over the place, but I just think I move differently. And like I said, it's not me saying I'm better or I'm worse or anything else, any different than anybody else. Well, I am different, but I and here's an interesting thing. I've only told one person this, and this sounds funny, and I guarantee everybody watching this is gonna think it's funny. I really relate to Ye or Kanye West. He makes so much sense to me, and not in the anti-Semitic things or like the really controversial things he says. I don't agree with that, and I don't even know if he agrees with that. But he makes so much sense in my brain. Like everything he does makes sense. And when so many people call him crazy, he doesn't seem crazy at all. He seems just like me, or I seem just like him. There's a famous quote. Well, not famous, but it was something he said when he was much younger, back in like the early 2000s, probably before I was born. He said, if I woke up one day and wanted to go to the NBA, I would do it because I think I can. And the interviewer was like, "Oh no, you couldn't." And he's like, "Yes, I could." I genuinely believe that. I'm a great singer. I think I'm a great YouTuber. I'm a great artist. I'm a great drawer, sketcher, painter. I'm very creative. But I think if one day I woke up and wanted to go to the NBA, I could. It's not even like and I told this to somebody once. It was my ex-girlfriend, and she understood. She's like, "Oh yeah, okay, Austin, whatever." I genuinely believe it, and it's weird. It's hard to describe what that feeling is like. I genuinely believe I could. And it's not even just NBA. If I wanted to become a pilot tomorrow, I can go do it. And it also goes in. And I've made a video about this before, but how like I was gonna say painfully, but how like hyper self confident I am of myself. I think I could do anything. Like I think I could. The sky's the limit, and it's hard to describe that because so many people are gonna think I'm crazy, and that's fair. See, I'm gonna I'm gonna stand up now. But like, it's like I genuinely, it's not even I think I can do anything. It's I know I could because I've done it before. And I feel like I'm rambling, and so I'm going over the same things before more and more. I don't know. Maybe someday somebody will watch this video and understand what I'm saying. I don't think anybody will right now, though. One thing I loved what he said was, "I'm not right." See, now I can't quote it, but it was something about I may not be. No, he said it's not that I'm right. He said it's not that I'm not right. It's that I'm not right now, which is crazy. Like that makes so much sense to me, and it probably makes sense to other people too. But it's maybe I am crazy, but it something makes it clicks in my brain differently, and it fills in so many gaps. And he also said, I can go over and over and over again, but I have such philosophies in life, and eventually I want to go over my philosophies in life. But here's just what I'm thinking right now. I'm gonna cut this off. Actually, one thing I want to say, just to end this off, the saddest part about this is no one will understand me, and I'm still so young. I haven't fully grasped that, but I'm working on it. Nobody will ever understand me, and that's all right. I think these thoughts are for me and for me only, maybe.